2026 Cleveland Browns quarterback situation gets more interesting.
Uh-oh.
Deshaun Watson is back, baby. He ready to claim his spot as the starting quarterback. Is he still the starting quarterback? Would you consider him QB1? Or is it
Yeah.
going to be Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders? Or does the Cleveland Browns draft a quarterback with one of their first round picks? Because they have two. Here it is. The Cleveland Browns on Wednesday designated quarterback Deshaun Watson to return to practice from the physical unable to perform this, the latest step in his return from last year's season-ending Achilles injury. Watson, 30, hasn't played since rupturing his right Achilles tendon last October, which sidelined him from the final 10 games of the 2024 season. He underwent a second surgery in January after re-tearing his Achilles, and the Browns announced that he would miss significant time in 2025. The designation opens a 21-day practice window for Watson, who will be limited in practice Wednesday and will conduct individual drills. Stefanski said the next step for Watson could include scout team quarterback reps. My focus is obviously getting him back on the football field, practicing football, which he hasn't done in over a year, Stefanski said. So it's a good next step for him. What do we think about Deshaun Watson's future and his future in Cleveland? Does he have a future in Cleveland?
Hey, man, it's crazy when you pay a quarterback that much money and then you go draft two quarterbacks. You use two picks to get two quarterbacks in the draft. And then his guys come back. You gotta give him the shot to be the starting quarterback because that's where all your money allocated to. Most of it now that Myles Garrett got his contract, most of it allocated to him. But before that, it was all allocated to Deshaun Watson to be the future. I don't think he's the future, but they invested into him, so they got to actually give him a chance because that's they invested. That's they big cash cow that they thought was going to be the answer.
The only reason we're having this conversation is because Deshaun Watson forced his god doggone way with all that guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Like you said, $46 million. And this relationship for the Cleveland Browns is like having a baby with a woman you thought would be your soulmate. You don't have to look no further. Let me invest everything, every ounce of energy, all my resources into this one woman because he, in this example, will change the trajectory of my team. So I'm diving in head first, baby. That's what the Cleveland Browns said. And, maybe you dive in head first and have this baby mistakenly with this so-called soulmate because you had a terrible experience with your last relationship. And it seems like everything this new woman does in the new relationship, or when you're courting this person, when you're looking at them from a distance, it seems so exceptionally well. And you want that person to be a part of your team. That's what the Cleveland Browns are dealing with. Woo! This trade is turning out to be one of the worst relationships a man or the NFL has ever gotten themselves into, man. Sure. Oh, man, the NFL team, boy, this is crazy, man.
He missed so many games over the past, well, I don't know how many years it's been now. Playing 5 years now. He probably played 10 to 15 games in the past 5 years, which is like ridiculous. Like it's surprising that he's still in the NFL, honestly, because you said before, it's saying for not for long. You don't get that many chances, but I feel like honestly, if he didn't have that contract right now, he wouldn't be considered.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And I've always said Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur, man, they had to play to the level that Cleveland feels comfortable enough to name one of them the starting quarterback this season and heading into next season, so they wouldn't draft another quarterback. I always said that. But if they do decide to draft a quarterback in the draft with one of those draft picks, because I said they got two, that is for sure who the starting quarterback will be for the 2026 season. Now, if that happens, everyone else is fighting for backup, third string, so on and so forth. These last 5 games for Shedeur are so important, man. So important. He proved himself to the Browns and Stefanski and whoever else that needs to be proven to. So he prevent them from drafting quarterback with one of those first 2 picks, And you say, man, you want to last for long in this NFL. You know what I mean? It's like we got 5 games left, and he literally has to have big games in all 5 games to prevent this from happening. You know, and hopefully he can convince the fans game of Cleveland Browns to start to build a team around him and look at him as the future, you know? But if the Browns do choose to draft a quarterback, that depth chart, man, will get real tricky. It will get real tricky.
If you had to say right now in 2026 start of the Browns year 2026 season, what 3 you think all 3 of those quarterbacks they have on the roster right now will be there? As what I'm talking about was Deshaun Watson, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Will they all be there
heading into the season in training camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think for sure they'll be there headed into training camp unless trade or something happens or something like that. But for sure, you know. Mm-hmm. And it's only one more season that, you know, Cleveland has to deal with Deshaun Watson. His guarantees are up after the 2026 season, which is next season. So, you know, no one can predict what's the plan for Watson and how the Browns plan on moving forward. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. They may put him on the field. They may put him on the field.
Browns, period.
Huh?
I said the Browns is so hard to predict. Period. It's like I don't think nobody in the world. The Browns don't even know what they're going to do. They
exactly.
They wake up in the morning and say,
"I would feel next season is not out of the question." Basically, they may put him on the football field, and if they put him on the field and he mess around and balls out, you know, has a couple 300-yard games, start looking like the old Deshaun Watson, man, that will really confuse the hell out of Cleveland, man. That will really confuse the hell out of Cleveland. But here is Deshaun Watson, man. Deshaun Watson at practice, getting it on. Check him out, making a few throws. Look like he's still whipping it pretty good. Get that hip into it, brother. Look at that Achilles. Let's look at Achilles. Look at him walk. All right. It look like you're all right. Like you pretty ready. One thing about the Achilles, man, it takes longer than a year. You can't just come back in 1 year and think everything is going to be peaches and cream.
He did it multiple times. It wasn't just one time.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
That's even a different story when you do it multiple times.
Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, it'd be hard for the people responsible for cutting those $46 million checks to see Deshaun Watson on the sidelines and he collecting all that money.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the end of the day.